Welcome back. And so today we are going to discuss 4 simple ways to cultivate healthy work relationships while working from home. Okay, so it says 4 simple ways to cultivate healthy working relationships from home. Forming bonds with colleagues at a new workplace can always be challenging. Now try to build relationships while working remotely, and it becomes 10 times more challenging. Even if you had known your coworkers before going remote, it can still be difficult to maintain those relationships in this new model. Nevertheless, healthy workplace relationships are crucial for every company, contributing to successful cooperation within teams, as well as employees' general satisfaction and mental well-being. In this article, we will discuss work relationships, delving into detail about what makes them healthy, tell you why it's important to work on those bonds, and give you some practical tips on how to implement them among your remote team today. What is a work relationship? So let's start by defining what a work relationship is. Simply put, it consists of the bonds you form with the people you work with, e.g., your colleagues, team members, managers, and CEOs. The definition can also include your relationship with customers, suppliers, and investors. The nature of those relationships will vary. For example, you are more likely to develop stronger bonds with your team members compared to other people who work for the same company. That happens naturally, as those are the people with whom you spend the most time. We may differentiate between relationships that are personal versus those that are strictly professional. The latter is the kind of relationship you're likely to have with your boss. However, the two types can overlap. The relationship you have with your teammates is professional, but some of them can become your close colleagues, and you may even want to spend some time together with them outside of work. A lot also depends on your general company cultures. Each company has its own culture that will set the tone for employee relations. Some workplaces will insist on a high demand of formality, while others will be much more informal. It's something everyone at the company should be familiar with. However, if you have any doubts about what exactly constitutes your company culture, it would be a good idea to reach out to an HR representative. Why is building relationships at work important? Like all relationships, work relationships take time and effort, but why should you want to cultivate them in the first place? Well, for starters, business is relationships, and having good people skills is always an asset. By forming bonds with different individuals, you grow your network and increase your chances for new business opportunities. However, it's not just about advancing your career, but also about improving overall your work satisfaction. If you're getting a stomach ache on a Sunday evening, just thinking about having to go to work the next day, chances are that the relationships at your workplace need some mending. We spend so much of our time at work. Why not at least why not make it at least a little bit more pleasant for ourselves? Having healthy relationships creates a happier workplace and boosts employee morale and productivity. People who simply feel good in each other's company are more engaged and creative, work more effectively as a team, and get better results. What makes a good work relationship? The foundation of a healthy work relationship, or in fact, any type of relationship, is good communication, which should be honest, respectful, and based on mutual understanding. Once you lay this groundwork, you will be able to build that trust. This means not only feeling safe enough to share a little bit more about yourself, but also being reliable and keeping your commitments. When you have this sense of safety with another person, you feel comfortable with one another. Another key factor is mutual support, feeling as if you've got each other's backs and are cheering each other on. This ties in with appreciation, recognizing and celebrating each other's successes and expressing gratitude. How to build and maintain effective working relationships. Ideally, you should be able to feel some level of safety with everyone you work with, and feel as if you know at least a little bit about them, okay? Obviously, some relationships are going to be more important than others, such as the ones you have with the members of your team or your direct managers. In this part of this article, we touch on the key factors that go into building and maintaining healthy relationships at work. We also share some tips on how to go about fostering these relationships while working from home, including insights from our very own remote team. Number one, you want to make effort. As already mentioned, relationships don't just build themselves overnight. They take time and effort to develop. They are the sum of all small interactions you have every day. So be patient. Your best friend was also a stranger at some point. Remember, at the same time, it doesn't mean you should just wait to do nothing. Instead, be intentional about those interactions. Learn about your teammates and let them get to know you. You're all probably running on busy schedules, and it may be hard to set aside additional time to socialize, but it doesn't have to be super time consuming. Just check in with your teammates to see how they're doing, ask about the projects they're working on, but also make space for some chit chat. Okay. However, it's important to be consistent. There's no chance to develop a strong bond if you only interact every few months. Also, try to show up for extra activities, even if they happen to work and you have to sacrifice a little bit of your free time, whether it's an office party, celebrating someone's birthday, or just grabbing a few drinks together. It's a great excuse to socialize and get to know each other better. In the physical workplace, you'd probably have more occasions for spontaneous exchanges or group activities. You do coffee breaks together, hang out in the common area, or stop by each other's desk. However, it's still possible in a remote environment. You just have to find new ways to have meaningful interactions that can slowly turn into building blocks of a working relationship. It says make the effort while working from home, messaging people on whichever app your company uses for day-to-day communication is the remote equivalent of starting a friendly conversation at the office. You can establish some rituals. The other day, people at Tag Venue were sharing pics of their home office setups on a channel. We also have an entire channel dedicated to book recommendations. If you add Donut to Slack, it will pretty much make the effort for you. It can post random prompts in a dedicated channel to spark up conversations and get everyone to share interesting bits of information about themselves. It will also pair up people who don't normally interact with one another and encourage them to have virtual coffee or lunch together. Talking to employees from different departments is an excellent way to broaden your social network and gradually build a stronger community a stronger community across the company. You should schedule casual hangouts or maybe take a few minutes of your regular meetings to simply check in and talk about what's going on in each other's lives, maybe share some book and TV show recommendations, etc. Virtual one-on-ones are an excellent way to establish rapport between employees and managers. They should be recurring meetings taking place every 2 to 4 weeks. It is not only the time for giving updates, discussing progress, and providing two-way feedback, but the commitment to these regular face-to-face interactions also help build trust and strengthen the relationship. If you're looking for conversation starters, use social media, connect with your coworkers on LinkedIn, and learn a little bit about each other's background. You may find that you have something in common and it will give you a reason to drop them a DM. Reacting to each other's posts is also a low effort way of showing interest and friendliness. Office parties can also still happen, even if your team is fully remote. Virtual gatherings and celebrations can be just as fun, and they're a great way to get closer to your colleagues. We'll talk about more about that later on in this article when we get to the section on team building activities. Tips from Tag Venue include, according to our team, having daily stand-ups really help with maintaining good relationships. It's not just the time to discuss everyone's progress, but also a chance to ask how they're doing and have a small casual chat. Each day starts with a dose of positivity and motivation. Plus, everyone gets to learn a little bit more about each other. We also hold weekly town hall meetings, which gives us a chance to catch up with everyone at the company, learn what each team is currently working on, and ask questions. And so that was a great explanation, very detailed about ways. It also gave examples of ways that you can make the effort to be in touch with each other and create these working relationships. So I did actually enjoy that and have practiced quite a bit of that. The second tip that is offered is communicate well. And so it says, when you have good relationships with your coworkers, it becomes easier to voice opinions, give feedback, bounce ideas off of each other, even handle conflicts. To be able to do that, you have to communicate well. But what does it mean? It starts with something as simple as being polite and respectful toward each other, regardless of the position they occupy in the company hierarchy. Practice active listening. Pay attention to what the other person is saying and ask questions. Be honest and transparent in your communication. Don't say anything about a person that you wouldn't say to their face. Gossiping won't get you anywhere, so make sure you handle any issues professionally. If you have some negative feedback to give, discuss it with the person in question in private. Build trust. You may feel vulnerable when you open up to your coworker, but some vulnerability is necessary to build a healthy relationship. Apart from that, let your coworkers know that they can rely on you. This also means knowing your responsibilities and being able to follow up on them. If you can't keep up your commitments, don't try to hide it or place the blame on someone or something else. Have an honest talk instead. Owning up to your mistakes is also key. Communicating while working from home in a remote setup is vital to use technology that supports easy communication and learn how to make the most of it. However, because everyone is separated by their own screen, the natural flow of communication may get a little disrupted, okay? So be extra careful, extra clear in your written communication. Remember that the other side has to depend on the words only, right? They do not have access to your gestures and body language unless you use emojis, which serve as the equivalent of gestures in informal writing. Be mindful of the tone of your message, keeping in mind the person you're addressing. When it comes to emails, it's essential to communicate effectively at work. However, the rules might vary when you're communicating with a coworker or with your director. Elements like the subject line and the length of the email are important when crafting emails. For some extra help, check out the tips on how to introduce people over email. Okay. We all deal with technical issues from time to time, like a lost connection, etc. If your screen froze during a meeting and you didn't quite catch what someone was saying, don't be afraid to ask them to repeat. And so then tips from Tag Venue include what our team really values is our friendly and open culture. Everyone is welcome to ask questions, knowing that they won't be ridiculed, but get the help and answers they seek. And then they said for daily communication helps them stay connected, even though they're working from different corners of the world. During meetings, we keep our cameras on because we genuinely like to see each other and value nonverbal communication. So again, communicating well, I constantly talk about how we over communicate just for transparency's sake. I do like the points that were made, and the suggestions are great. This is a very well written article and I am enjoying this. Okay, so tip number 3 is keep a positive attitude. This may sound ridiculously simple and cliched, but a smile can really go a long way. Everyone likes being around people that radiate positive energy. Sure, it is possible to bond over negativity, but why waste time on that when you could make each other feel good instead. So everyone thrives in an atmosphere of mutual support where people can help each other grow and push each other to be better versions of themselves instead of clipping each other's wings. Inspire and motivate one another. Show appreciation. Everyone likes to feel valued for what they're contributing, which is why giving positive feedback is super important. Recognize the good work of your colleagues and praise them for their efforts. Spreading positivity while working from home. You can easily spread the positive vibes even from afar. Why not start some rituals with your fellow coworkers? It can be something super simple like checking in with your team every morning and wishing everyone a good day. You can also learn what your colleagues are working on and cheer them on. These gestures don't take much effort, but sometimes be enough to make someone's day a little brighter, and let them know they're not alone. Learn more about how to build a positive work environment here. And then some tag venue tips are: the team at Tag Venue is known for their enthusiasm. They have the tradition of always giving warm welcomes to newcomers. They are introduced via a public channel, and then where they get ton of positive reactions. It's awesome. It's an awesome way to make them feel like they belong right from the start. Okay. And then tip number 4 is try some team building activities. A great way to foster stronger bonds with your colleagues is to engage fun team building activities. Playing some games that require teamwork can help improve your communication skills, discover your strengths, and get closer to one another. In a physical workplace, you'd probably have more occasions to participate in such activities. There'd be office parties or things like pizza or beer after work. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy them if you're working remotely. Some companies may organize offline get-togethers with the entire team once in a while. This is an awesome time for employees to socialize in real life and do something together. However, if that is not possible, there are also excellent ways to do some team building without leaving the house. So you can try connecting with the team, ways in which you can connect with the team while being from home. Here at TagView, they pride themselves on hosting awesome virtual building activities, from lighthearted and relaxed games like Team Quest or Around the World, to entertaining and adrenaline-filled challenges like online escape rooms. Why not take the initiative to talk to managers about picking that suits your company? Click here to explore our top picks. Head over to our articles, the 18 best virtual team building activities, and then also see if you like anything there. Okay. And then the article continues. You can also check out an article on online ice breaking, where there's a list of a wide selection of activities that can help you break the ice with your remote colleagues. If you're looking for something simple to begin with, the article also contains a list of icebreaker questions. You can pick one and start each day by having everyone submit their answers or use them as a fun warm-up before meetings. And then again, tips from TagView: our team really enjoys the fact that we're remote first, but not remote only. It's great to have the option to come down to the office and reconnect with each other in real life, have a delicious breakfast together, or relax after work during Pizza and Beer Fridays. We do our best to organize office parties where team members who work in a different city on a daily basis can also join. But if that's not possible, we take our own advice to heart and know how to have fun while staying fully remote. So in conclusion, we hope that by now you're feeling inspired to work on the relationships with your remote colleagues. Remember to make consistent efforts and to make some casual interactions. Be mindful of how you communicate with others, stay positive, and look for some team building activity that you and your team can engage in. I really enjoyed this article. I think they gave very good examples for how to build 4 simple ways to cultivate a healthy work work relationship. There was a great description of what a work relationship is. I mean, I do often talk about how my relationship with my boss is not personal, it's strictly professional. So I did love that they pointed that out as well. And then the importance of building the work relationship is to create a happier workplace and boost employees' morale, right? And productivity. So, which is very important when you are working remote. I hope that thank you all for staying here with me and listening to me spill about this article today. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye. Hello, my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Thank you for joining my channel today, and I hope that you enjoy the content today. Feel free to like, comment, and share the video, as well as subscribe so that you can get notifications for when I release new content. Also, click the link in the bio for more products from me, as I recently released the book, The Great Promotion, and I discuss how I got promoted 4 times in 6 months and received a bonus while working from home.